Hey everyone, this is Brooke with a quick reminder for all my first year applicants, meaning you are a current high school student. The early action deadline is November 1st. If you are a first year applicant and you want to be considered for merit scholarships, make sure to submit your Common App by November 1st at 11:59 p.m. in your time zone. Also remember to select a Viterbi major as your first choice major, so anything beginning with a VSE. We can't wait to see those applications. Now let's get that podcast started.
This is Viterbi Voices.
Coming to you from the University of Southern California, Viterbi School of Engineering.
We're here to give you the inside scoop on research, classes, student life, and so much more.
All of these shared by students, faculty, alumni, and other members of the USC community.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Viterbi Voices. As usual, I am one of your co-hosts. My name is Paul Ledesma. I'm the Executive Director of Undergraduate Admission here at the USC Viterbi School of Engineering.
And hello, everyone. My name is Safi Patel. I'm your other co-host. I'm a senior in computer science, and I'm doing my master's in engineering management.
And we have a guest host that is joining us today. I believe it's your first time on the podcast. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great. Cool. Riya, welcome. And why don't you introduce yourself to all 12 of our listeners that are out there?
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Riya. I'm a junior studying computer science and games with a minor in product design.
And where are you from?
I'm from Highland, New York.
Highland, New York. Where is Highland, New York?
It's in between like Albany and the city. So kind of in the middle of nowhere, a very rural farm town.
Interesting. Do you consider yourself upstate New York?
Yes,
is that
it's
Albany?
not like super. I consider myself upstate. It's like very farmy compared to the city, but upstate New York is so big.
How far is the commute to the city?
It's like an hour and a half by train.
Oh, okay. That's not bad at all.
By train, hour and a half by train. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. I was just in New York like 3 days ago.
How was it?
It was great. It was great. It was great weather. It was actually
Where in
like
New York
here.
were you?
I was in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. Love Brooklyn.
And then we went to dinner in Chelsea for one night. So popped over into Manhattan. And it was cool. We had our event out there. It was lots of excited students, learning more about USC. I didn't get to do a lot just because of timing and kind of moving from place to place. But it was cool. So it's apropos that you are here to talk about New York. I'm curious, Riya, since you're here before we get into everything, how did you find yourself at USC, given that you're from an hour and a half outside of New York City? Far away.
I always wanted to live in California because I knew of like all the tech opportunities there. And New York has a lot of great opportunities too, but I also wanted to like live somewhere new. So California was just generally like super exciting. So I was really happy when I got into USC because it's a new city to explore, lots of new people, and of course, new opportunities.
How do you like being in a city compared to your somewhat rural upbringing?
I really like it. I feel like LA is like a very different type of city.
Oh, it's so weird. It's so weird, right? It's not like a city especially if you come from around New York.
Exactly. So if I want to like be in nature, I can just like drive up to like the mountains and go on a hike, and I don't feel like I'm in a city. But if I want that city experience, I can just go on one of those streets and go shopping and stuff, and I feel like I'm still in a city. Yeah. So I like LA for that.
And Safia is like all about going to New York. She's you interned there. You're hoping you're going to be working there next year. I mean, this is like the New York episode here. What's going on?
I love New York. I was there the whole summer, and I was in East Village, and it's so fun. Also, my sister lives in Brooklyn, so I visited her back and forth a couple times, and every time I stay with her, I just pretend like it's my apartment, and I just walk around by myself, and it's really fun. So fingers crossed, everyone manifests that I am in New York beginning of 2026.
Got this. We'll manifest for you.
Thank you so much.
Very cool. So before we get off into other conversations, Riya, you are bringing us a whole episode here. What's this episode all about that the listeners are about to dive their ears into?
This episode, we're discussing the various types of computer science. So at USC, there's different programs like CS Games and CS in Business. So I'm just inviting students from various different majors in CS to talk about their experience, how they found the perfect type of CS for them, what their schedules are like, and more.
Great. So if you are thinking about studying computer science, first things first, I would have you look at our website to understand all the curriculum plans. Go to viterbiadmission.usc.edu/cs. You can see all the different curriculum plans for all the different various programs that are about to be discussed. So you can understand all the course plans that are out there. And we'll bring this conversation around to a close on the other side of this conversation. Bring this conversation to a close on the other side of this You know what I mean? Is that we'll come back.
On the
You'll
other
hear
side
from
of the
us
episode.
on the other side of the episode. We'll see you on the back end. All right. So let's hand it right back over to Riya and her friends to talk a little bit more about computer science options.
Okay, could you all introduce yourself, your year, and your major?
Hey, my name is Cody. I am a junior studying computer science and business administration at USC.
My name is Aditya. I'm currently a super senior, graduating in December 2024. I'm double majoring in computer science and music.
My name is Agnes. I'm a super senior, and my bachelor's was physics and CS, and now I'm a CS master's.
Perfect. I'm Riya, and I'm a junior studying computer science and games. How is your program like? And if it's not pure CS, how is it different from like a typical CS schedule?
CSBA, in my opinion, is different from CS in many different ways. The first obvious reason and difference is just the difference in curriculum. And so beyond like CS classes in CS curriculum, you have courses in business and marketing and finance and things like that really give you a well-rounded and diverse education rather than just focusing specifically on CS and that theory and all of the application. And then with that being in all these business courses and electives and things like that, it's allowed me to really meet a broad and diverse group of people. I feel like the business students on average are very different compared to like the CS students. And that's just kind of naturally people's interests and things like that. And I think it's really cool getting to meet different people from different backgrounds and seeing what they're interested in, why they choose business, why they choose CS and things like that. And also just getting involved with different groups of people. I feel like a big part of USC is really just getting to know different groups of people and the kind of like network here and there. And so, I think that's one of the main differences between CSBA and CS.
It's kind of like 75% of both majors. So you have like all of the core classes, and then like the elective classes for both kind of get dropped, but you pretty much take the same curriculum up until then.
I think fairly like rigorous and thorough. I think like the first couple CS classes are fairly important. And then there's a couple of upper divs that I actually think I really, really enjoyed and kind of really made my understanding more in depth. I do wish there was some more like niche or specialty CS classes out there, but other than that, it's actually pretty great.
And CS Games is different in the way that it's still your regular CS degree program, but there are a lot of game development classes and also game design classes, and then you also get the choice in your electives to pick whichever game classes you want to pick, which is really nice. How did you decide between the various types of CS to Cody and Agnes?
When I knew that I wanted to pick some sort of CS, I looked at CSBA as like I said, a more diverse and like well-rounded education rather than just focusing strictly on CS. Picking a major, you're not entirely sure whether or not like what you pick is truly what you want to like pursue in terms of a career or even education in general. And so I wanted to give myself a variety of different things to learn from in terms of like business and CS, and those courses and skill sets are very interchangeable, especially if you're trying to do something in tech or particularly I'm trying to do it in product management. And so I feel like business skills are very applicable for me in terms of product management specifically. And then also the CS courses are very applicable in terms of being in tech. And so, yeah.
I actually came in as a pure physics major. Like that's how I got admitted. And then before, like, I think it was either in the first week or before I even started classes, I was just like, I don't know if I want to do a PhD or go to grad school. And physics and CS, like, it's the same at the beginning. So I was like, let me just switch to that. And then worst case, I can just switch back. I don't know. It just seemed practical. Like, it gave me a lot more options. You can do a lot with the CS degree. Like, you can do SWE, you can do like technical PM. I mean, there's like, you can do so many things. So it just seemed practical.
For me, I picked CS Games because I wanted to do a major that was a little more creative. And after looking through the class schedule and seeing what classes CS Games majors take, I was really interested in it, and I decided to switch my major, which was a really quick change. Luckily, in the CS Games program, they cut out some of the hardcore CS classes that are more elective based with the game curriculum. So it's nice because I'm still on track to graduating. I have space to take minor classes, which is really nice. If you're doing a dual program, how do you manage to fit your classes in your CS schedules?
So I feel one of the best parts about being in CSBA is I feel like the difference between the business courses and the CS courses are honestly pretty drastic in terms of like the way that things are taught, the types of homework that you have, the projects that you have, and things like that. For example, in business, you typically expect to have a lot of group projects and more essays and different bigger projects that are worth more part of your grade in terms of like things like participation and stuff like that. But a lot of work, collaboration, and working with people. And then I feel like in CS, it's a lot more technical. You're learning theory and hearing a lot of like detail. And so the courses are very like fundamentally different. And so in terms of like fitting in my courses, my business course with my CS courses, I feel like the way that they've structured CSBA is like perfect in terms of you find a great balance each semester between CS courses and business courses. So let's say I'm feeling like very overwhelmed by my CS courses and the technical content, then I always know that I can like rely on my business courses to, take a break from that, maybe do something that's more like in person and focusing on more interpersonal skills and things like that rather than like theory. And so I would say it's pretty easy to fit in these courses because they are very different in terms of like what they offer, and also give like a well-rounded experience throughout the semester.
When I was like going through scheduling my classes, I kind of tried to do, because I also had a French minor, so I tried to do at least one physics class, one CS class, and then one French class every semester. And then if, obviously I took more than that, so whatever just fit, whatever worked out. But I kind of tried to keep those as a base so I could like make progress for everything.
For Aditya, how do you have space for classes outside of CS? I know you mentioned you are also double majoring in guitar.
I take 21 units every semester. I took 21 units with like AAA consistently. It was painful. But like that, and to give context, the music classes are all like 2 units, 3 units. So that would be like 7, 8 classes each. But that's how I kind of finished in 4.5.
For all of you guys, what opportunities has your major opened up for you?
I think, well, honestly, there's a lot of opportunities like for using CS within music. And that's kind of what I'm trying to find. That's kind of the niche I want to play at. But I think more important than anything, it's like I really enjoyed problem solving, and like software engineering is a place where the problems are plenty. So that any of those opportunities are always available to me. And so pretty happy with that.
I will say it was kind of like a best of both worlds situation. Like definitely with the CS, like that's what I'm going to do my career in. That's like what I did my internships in. So that was like, again, very practical. So I'm very happy I did that. And for physics, it was more of like opportunities. Like obviously I was with the same people like year in, year out. So that was really nice to have a community. I did like most of my clubs in physics. And then I also got to do like research opportunities. I got to work in like an observatory. So I don't know. It was nice to have like all those options, all those opportunities.
I really like the CS Games program because it's opened a lot of opportunities for me. Specifically, they have a bunch of recruiters from the game industry coming to the school to visit. And also, I also get access to the same resources that the School of Cinematic Arts students get, which is really nice, while also being a Viterbi student.
Hi, everyone. This is Brooke with a quick message. The Discover USC Expo is coming this Sunday, October 20th. We are excited to see you there and show you everything there is to see about the Viterbi School. We are hosting academic sessions, lab tours, design teams, and more. Make sure to RSVP at viterbi.link/events. That's viterbi.link/events, EVENTS. Now back to the podcast.
So as I mentioned, CSBA is such a well-rounded program that really has introduced me to so many different career paths and professional opportunities and things like that. But one, it's like taught me the importance of really getting to know different types of people and the things that you can kind of learn from, meeting a variety of different people. Just by like talking to my classmates and things like that, I've learned about like different career paths and different professional things that I want to pursue. Also, like even learning about things that I don't want to particularly pursue. And then I think CSBA, for me particularly, wanting to pursue product management, it does give me a more well-rounded background in terms of, being prepared to, apply more business skill sets in terms of like team management or collaboration or interpersonal relationships and things like that. On top of the CS theory and fundamental like technical skills that I hope will like be pivotal in, being an effective product manager in tech. And so I think those, like so far, the curriculum or education that I've had in business as well as the education I've had in CS have both given me the confidence and the knowledge that I've needed to like pursue opportunities in product management and kind of know and have the confidence to know that I kind of know what I'm talking about in terms of like at least having a background from both business and CS allows me to, be more flexible and comfortable in like what I talk about and the way I approach different things, because the courses, like I said, are very different. And so I've learned so many different things from them. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for being on the podcast. If you are a listener, I hope this podcast helped you figure out the different types of CS programs we offer here. A few that weren't mentioned are the computer engineering and computer science, and then electrical and computer engineering with a focus in computer science. So if you're interested in the other CS programs that we have, I definitely recommend checking out our CS website and reading more about the programs and trying to find the one that is the best fit for you. And of course, once you're admitted into Viterbi, it's really easy to switch between majors. That's what I did. I was originally a pure CS major and I switched into CS Games, which was literally just filling out a form. So don't worry if you don't know which one's right for you. You'll have many opportunities when you're at USC to explore the different options we have, talk to other students in the programs, and find out which one you will enjoy the most.
And we're back. Thank you for that lovely episode. When I was initially applying to USC, I didn't even know there was that many CS. So I'm sure that people applying right now will really appreciate this episode, especially if they're like kind of in that in-between space where they don't exactly know where their interests lie yet.
Or they're like you and they're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do now. I didn't even know. I felt so easy before.
Yeah.
You know what I find interesting is, and I find this when I talk to prospective students a lot, is that there's a lot of obviously discussion about CS and there's a lot of interest in CS, but there's also, I think, a lot of false positives as far as like people that are interested in CS, because they tend to think that's what I want to do because I had a programming class in high school, and they haven't really understood all these areas, like the ideas of going into electrical or computer engineering, the hardware side of it, they don't understand. Or maybe they just understand maybe in high school they had a programming class and that helped them understand problem solving, or large scale problem solving, and kind of the combinations of a technical mindset to more subjective problem solving. And I think sometimes people like maybe they like programming, maybe they suffer through programming, but they also realize that the idea of programming and coding is more of a literacy. It's not necessarily just a degree program. Every single degree program has to have some level of data analysis, artificial intelligence, coding background, which is built into all of our degree programs.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't have a point here other than say that like there's so much to talk about with CS, but also sometimes people might be looking at other areas. And I think that's what's so great about the variety of the CS programs that we offer is that spectrum of a software engineering degree, which is computer science. And on the other end of the spectrum is a hardware engineering degree, which is electrical and computer engineering when you focus on hardware, architecture, computers and networks, sensors, et cetera. Degree program in the middle is computer engineering, computer science, which you've already heard about, which is like a 50-50 split between software and hardware. And then the CS business administration and the CS games degree program are specializations spun off of the software side of that spectrum. So really, a lot of prospective engineers, and you guys tell me whether this is true or not, I find that they get so caught up in the minutia of like, okay, which one's the right one? And I need to know exactly what it is that I want to study. And it's much more of a journey, right? And so I say, look at this from the ideas of the spectrum, software on one end, hardware on the other, pick an area to start. And you may move, right? You may move inside of that spectrum. I mean, and I think you guys were a little bit different that you had pretty much an idea of what you wanted to study, but can you talk about the idea of moving and other people that you've known that thought they were all software ended up going hardware, vice versa?
I think I've met every extreme, like the jokes that people make about going from ECE to CCS to CS to CSBA, like that's kind of the pipeline that people envision. And I've also heard the exact opposite, where people start off in like ISC, switch to CSBA, really like the software side, switch to CS, and they take their first electrical class through CS, and then they end up in ECE. So it's definitely a journey for everyone. And don't feel intimidated if you want to switch at some point. Like my roommate, my sophomore year, switched to ECE her junior spring, and she still graduated on time. Like everyone has their own pathway,
right?
And you'll figure it out. Just like see where your interests lie. Don't let it stress you out about like timings of like when you're going to graduate or something like that.
I would also emphasize there that there's all sorts of scenarios here, and what is most exciting about this is that you have the flexibility, and as long as you're going after the things that sound cool to you, if it's engaging and interesting to you, I think that's most important. And students that are admitted as first-year students to any one of our Viterbi school majors have the opportunity to change their mind as they're going through that program. And what's most important also is that all of these degree programs, which you kind of alluded to, Safia, have some similar requirements that every CS major has to take electrical courses at minimum. And so every electrical major has to take some programming courses just to understand how it works. And so that's where you end up, seeing things like, oh, I think I like that. And then you kind of move in that direction, or you realize, oh, I don't like that. So I'm going to stay in this. I just have to get through that. So there's a lot to it, down to it. Riya, do you think that that's similar to your experiences and people that you've had? Sorry, Safia, go ahead.
It was just always funny seeing like the one electrical class that's that CS people have to take. You can tell which people are so software oriented and which people are kind of like could do ECE if they wanted to, because people come out of that class either like hating their life or they're like, wait, this was so cool. Like I love hardware now. So that class is always funny, especially because like any age can take it. Like I'm a senior taking it, but there's like freshmen in my class too. So it's just funny to see where people are at.
Riya, have you found this to be true?
Yeah, I was pure CS, and then after coming to USC, I switched to CS games because I never knew about the program, and then I heard that other kids were in, and I was like, wait, like I want to do this. So the switch was really easy, and I'm so happy I changed my major. I love exploring like both sides of like the game development side, but also having like my software classes as well.
And you have like more of an artistic background, right? I feel like when I talk to you about CS games, you're like, oh, I kind of like the like drawing aspect of it and like the design aspect of it.
Yes, exactly. I feel like I got into CS because of my love for design, because I love designing apps and websites, and I wanted to know how to make that real. So I really like the games program as well, because I get to do some like video game programming, make like AR and VR experiences, and the CS curriculum is also mainly like C++ in the beginning, and then with games it's C#. So it's very similar to each other, which made it a lot easier for me to like learn the skills that I needed to.
Well, also, once you learn C++, you're like a rock star in C
Yeah.
sharp. I mean, like, that's the thing, is that so many high school students come out with like Python, or maybe they know some sort of other kind of simplified version of coding. And the whole point is, and they feel like, oh, I know how to code. I'm like, you don't until you know how to code C++. Once you know C++, you're a rock star in everything else, and you can apply it across the board.
Exactly.
I love that you know this, Paul, like completely non-tech background, but you've just been surrounded by so many Viterbi kids.
Yeah, I'm like, don't bring your Java to this house. Don't bring your Java programming here. Simplified object-oriented programming. Come on, we got to go hardcore C++. Now, we're not going all the way back to Fortran here, but we are going.
Wow.
Oh, dude, I could talk a big game. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't bring your Scratch into this house. Don't bring your Scratch here. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, I miss Scratch.
I know it's for kids. It's for kids. It's for kids.
Scratch was ideal. Why can't we just
my
code
daughter's
everything
programming in Scratch. Yeah, like drag and drop type stuff. I wouldn't worry about it. I know my stuff. Don't test me. Don't test me. You want to get into Ruby? You want to get into Ruby? You want to get into Python?
No, we don't want to talk about it. I have trauma with Ruby, so not Ruby.
No. Well, that's the thing, is that every high school student is like, what do you code in? What language do you code in? I'm like, all. Like, you're not supposed to learn a language.
Yeah.
If you're learning a language, you're doing this wrong. That's why C++ is so good, because it's the foundational element of coding, and it's applicable across the board. And once you understand the syntax, once you understand all those elements, you're good to go and applying it across the board.
And the CS curriculum covers like not all the languages, but like all of the ones that you kind of mentioned. So, and
you have opportunities to choose, right? You get into like capstone design courses. It's not saying do this in this code. It's like, make something you choose, like different code languages, different kind of code libraries are going to be far, when you get into like Git repositories, any of this is going to be far more. What, you don't know? You don't think I know this? Like, Safia's face is,
do you know how to push to GitHub? Like, what's the command to push to GitHub?
I'm not going to tell the secrets. I'm not going to tell the secrets here.
For sure.
So no, but this whole point is that, like, how you execute, what tools you use. There's going to be different sets of tools that are going to be more efficient or more appropriate given the context of the problem. And that's one of the things you'll learn as a CS student, is that you don't code in a language. You understand how to build up that tool set, that library, that problem solving skill set, and then using the appropriate code for the efficiency purposes or anything else you're trying to do. And also the user context, right? What is it being used in? How is it being used?
Yeah.
And when you go get jobs, every job, every industry will have different versions or different variables associated with how you're going to code and what's happening.
Yeah, totally.
Like when you're working in like a fintech company, Safia, what are we looking at? How does this work? And is it the same for every company, or is that an industry standard?
No, it's definitely different. So the reason I like had that really interesting reaction when you said Ruby is because initially when I was reached out for my offer for my internship, I was told I needed to know Ruby. So I started like learning Ruby like a week before my internship, and I got to my internship and then they put me on the AI/ML team. So I didn't need to know any Ruby at all.
Yeah.
Just needed Python. So that's why I was like, I don't want to even think about Ruby. But then people at my internship were coding. One of them was doing C++, one of them was doing Python. Like all of us were kind of working with different languages depending on what team we were on. So it was really interesting because like it was kind of almost nice because like if you want to take a break from your work, you could look at someone else's work and help them out, and it'd be in a completely different language, and you'd have to use a completely different set of your brain, which was nice to like kind of not think about your own work for a second.
Yeah, that's cool. Riya, I think you said this at the beginning, but I may have just completely missed it. Remind me, what year are you right now?
I'm a junior. You're
junior. Okay. And how has your exploration into industry been, given the background, the education? What have you done? Where are you looking? I mean, games is a whole other kind of idea.
Yeah, I think the games program offers a lot of great opportunities directly with like game companies. But for me, I was more interested in like entertainment. So this past summer, I entered for this music industry startup, and they loved hearing all of my game stuff because we were building a lot of apps for the App Store, and really gamifying that experience is so important for getting users engaged on apps. So I really like that I could bring like my learnings from my classes in interactive media and games and bring that to like traditional software products.
I love that you brought that up, because there's so many, again, high school students that look at it and be like, do I need to pick games? Because I don't know if I want to work in games. Like, no one said you had to. It's a learning environment, and the way that you're applying, just the simple concept of you're applying the gamification of app development for the music industry, that is fantastic, right? And one of the main, it's kind of an end use application concept of what we're all, what you're all doing, the concepts of your degree programs is that you are building out a degree program and problem solving where you have a bunch of tools at your capability and you know when to use them and how to use them appropriately to help whatever the problem is going to be. And we just talked about that, Safia, with fintech, talk about the ideas of app development, game development, mobile development. And, could you do that with a CS degree? Sure. But you also have a different lens because you've applied it through something that you truly enjoy and have that artistic element of, GUI, graphic user interface design. I'm sorry, am I throwing out too many terms again, Safia? Are we getting
so funny? I didn't know you had all this knowledge. I'm so impressed right now.
You don't know that I have all this knowledge? I will blow your mind. You want to go into structural engineering
next
as well?
episode with like a Kahoot ready for you to take.
But anyways, as you get into that, I mean, that's what's most important is that I think most people say like, oh, I'm going to do high school students tend to say like, I'm going to do this one very specific thing, computer science. I'm like, don't go that direction. You're trying to become this person that knows how to solve problems. There's a lot of theory in that. There's a lot of hands-on applications of that, but it spans the gamut of all these different elements. So I think that's important.
And even like tailoring it, like you said, you have a minor in product design. Like even if you're quote unquote pure CS, like people just find different niches and different hobbies to kind of integrate into their coursework. Like people do cybersecurity or they're going to do like blockchain or whatever. We have so many specializations. I don't even know what they all are.
Well, that's another thing too, is that so many students come in and say like, I'd like to get a degree in blockchain. I'd like to get a degree in cybersecurity. I'm like, those aren't degrees. Like you don't like the idea of getting a degree in something so like niche and specialty at current day and age, which will change moving forward. These types of applications like the minors that you talked about, and coursework that you can take, it all exists. Even AI, it's not about getting a specific degree program for that. But it's the idea of getting the background to go into that, which is exactly what we're doing here across the gamut.
Yeah.
All right. So Riya, let's move on from this topic for a quick minute. Riya, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about Halloween?
Of Halloween?
This is an ongoing conversation we've been having for the last couple of weeks.
When I was younger, it was definitely a 10, but now as I'm older, it has to be like a little more like 7. Like I love dressing up and going out with my friends, but somehow Halloween is always when midterms are. So
Halloween.
Halloween is what the college kids call it.
Halloween.
Exactly.
We talked about this last episode. We were like, is Halloween going to be the weekend before or after? We need to know.
I know.
Did you use that term? You just said the weekend.
I think I just like slurred it. And
you slurred it, so I didn't catch it. Halloween. Okay. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being fun and goofy, and 10 being scary and oh my God, I think I'm going to die. How do you like Halloween?
It's like I feel like it's a good 7. Like I don't know. It's like a 5. Like I feel like it's fun, but I also think I'm gonna die because of like the amount of work I do, and I have to like.
Oh no, I'm not talking about work. I'm talking about scariness, like scary level.
Do you like the horror aspect of Halloween, or do you?
Horror, scary, gory.
Oh, I do not like the horror stuff. No. I can't deal with it. I'm scared of everything.
Because Safia's a 12. Like Safia.
No, I'm not a 12.
I think you are.
Like
I am sorry. You are not a 7.
No, I'm a 7. Trust me. Because I can't watch like the horror movies by myself. Like I'm not just out here like in my bed on a Friday night watching like, The Purge in my room alone. Like it's with other people. And I love the cutesy parts of Halloween. Like I'm making do you know what boo baskets are? I'm making a boo basket for my friend because we're doing like Secret Santa, but with boo baskets.
Is that where you drop it off and say you've been booed?
No, it's like a little like gift basket, but it's like all Halloween themed. But we do like Secret Santa, but like with boo baskets. That makes sense.
I get it.
So you get like another friend and they don't know who they have.
Yeah.
And then you like make a little like Halloween basket for them.
Okay.
So that's a cutesy side. Like that brings me down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm talking about? The idea, because I was introduced to this through the elementary school. Like people get booed.
Oh no, we didn't do that.
It's almost like it's not toilet papering because it's like but you get like surprised something left at your house and you don't know who did it and it's like a mystery. Like you've just been booed and like they get like a cool thing leading up to whatever and just like who did it. And then in the day and age of like ring cams.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it's a whole other world because like
That's so
when we
funny.
did it to someone else, like we had to put on like disguises. Like my daughter like put on like a baseball hat and a big hoodie and was
Uh-huh.
like whatever, like she's pretending to like walk
That's
differently to
so
go up and
cute.
like drop something off and get out of there. So that they made someone think it was someone else. And it's kind of cool. Like who do we get booed by? It's super fun.
Maybe I should do that instead.
You've been
That's
booed.
so
You can
cute.
Google it. Like there's all sorts of like, Pinterest ideas of
But
being
if I feel like
booed.
if I did that to someone, I would want to make it scary.
Okay, see what I'm talking about? Rhea, do you
I
see
see that.
this?
Yeah, no,
Oh
I'm
my
definitely more of
God.
like the pumpkin spice latte, carving pumpkins, no
That's
scary
valid. That's valid.
movies.
All right. Well, you brought up a new question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much are we PSL, like pumpkin spice?
Oh,
What is this?
PSL.
What is this all about for you guys? Like Rhea,
I'm
you
like
brought
a
it up.
2, 3.
Oh, I'm a 10. I got a
10.
cold brew with pumpkin spice cold foam. And then Starbucks also has an apple crisp shaken espresso. And
Okay.
Trader Joe's, don't even get me
Mm-hmm.
started on the Trader Joe's in the village.
Mm-hmm.
So many
Mm-hmm.
good fall stuff. They have like
Mm-hmm.
chocolate covered pretzels. They have so many treats. They're
They're
so
pumpkin
good.
spice covered pretzels, is what you're talking
I
about,
don't
right?
like
Yes.
pumpkin.
Exactly.
I like
Oh,
pumpkin
really?
spice because it's literally what? Just like
It's just
cinnamon,
sugar.
cardamom,
Hmm.
like
It's
things like that.
sugar.
But I don't like pumpkin. So when everyone's like pumpkin pie, I'm like, ugh, let's not do
Oh, I
that.
love
Okay,
pumpkin
maybe more
pie. Pumpkin
apple.
pie is great. But the stuff that Rhea's talking about is disgusting. I mean, that's just that disgusts me. Like everything you said is just no,
You
You
not
don't
guys
good
like
for
have to
me.
caramel
try it.
apples or like
Caramel apples are great, but the chemically overdone pumpkin
oh
spice flavored junk that is all out today, like this thing is nuclear orange and it's pumpkin spice flavored chocolate. Like I'm like, ugh, I don't know.
I love it.
Pumpkin pie though. I'm a
Mm.
huge fan of pumpkin pie. Like, what's wrong with pumpkin pie, Safia?
I just don't like pumpkin, like straight pumpkin.
Mm.
Like I can do pumpkin spice because it you just are using the pumpkin as the base and then you're loading it with so many spices that you don't really taste the pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
But the texture of pumpkin pie, like I feel like the flavor is not that good either. Like it just kind of tastes like a squash, but like a little sweeter. Like I don't know what's going on
What's the
there.
craziest pumpkin spice flavored thing you've seen? Like Rhea, you just mentioned a bunch of them that are
Oh,
out there. Like, what's the thing you're like, oh my God, what?
I
I
saw like
have
a
no clue.
pumpkin dip somewhere, like for chips, and I was like, oh, I'll stick to the sweet treats that are
I
pumpkin
wish they could
flavored.
see our faces.
Ew. Yeah, there's a lot of faces that we got going on in this one. Because I just heard about a pumpkin spice hummus, and I'm like, that sounds disgusting.
Oh no, no,
Yeah.
no. Absolutely not.
This is where it's
That's
gone too far.
gross.
Because there's people in
Yeah.
my life that are like, was it August 20th? They're like, it's pumpkin spice day. And it's like,
Yeah, the
that's when
minute they get their
Starbucks
first
releases the
PSL.
PSLs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, ugh. And it's also, it's hot. Like there's nothing that you
That's
should be
true.
It's been
doing.
so hot again. I remember there was one week where it was like nice 70 degrees
We
max.
were
Like,
cool for a while. Yeah.
yeah. And now it's what, like 85 degrees, 90 degrees again? I hate
Yeah.
it.
Well, not where I live,
I
but
love
yeah,
it.
I'm quite comfortable.
Really?
I'm at 72. So like, but like,
Let me
it's been like
check.
foggy and whatever. But
Okay, it's 77 right now.
yeah,
But
no,
that's still
for
like
me, it's
not
been nice. But I know I'm in a
okay.
slightly different part of LA than you guys are. So it's very different.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's
But
okay.
we have to deal with like thick fog in the morning. Like the marine layer is
Mm.
like almost like drizzle
Yeah.
in the
No,
morning,
I've
which I
seen it. It's
love.
been bad. Oh,
I
it's like
love
kind
it.
of scary when you're driving though.
I love it. I love
Maybe
it. I
it's
love
because
it. It just
my
keeps me
car is
cool.
about to give out and my headlights are really dim.
Uh-oh. Your car's about to
It's
give out?
it's at 200K miles and
What? Your car's at
yeah.
200,000 miles?
Yeah. She's been around for 14 years though, so
Wow.
Mm.
That's
yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
Strong car.
Yeah, she's still going strong. Hopefully she
Okay.
survives my senior year. That's all I
So
need.
you just need her to get through senior year. I mean, have you like
Yeah.
taken her for like a checkup and all
Yeah,
that stuff, or are you just
she
letting
has
it
like
go?
basically like quarterly check-ins nowadays.
Okay. All right.
She's on her last limb. It's okay.
Okay.
I've come to
Do
terms with it.
you know like dream scenario? Let's say it goes through senior year, and then you go
Mm.
start working. You got a salary and everything else. What are you going for if you get a car? Or if you're living in New York,
I
I
have
guess you don't want
no
a car
clue.
because you don't want a car in New York, right?
Yeah, but I'm still have my fall semester for my master's next like fall, like
Oh
fall
yeah,
2025. So I would still probably need a car because I might
yeah.
commute that semester as well. but I have no understanding of cars whatsoever. Like I'm just gonna go to my dad and be like, "What do you think?" And he's gonna pick it for me.
You don't have an opinion
Not
on
really.
what you
Like,
want
I
or
feel
like
like a car is
style?
just a car.
Interesting. Rhea, how do you feel about this coming from upstate New York? Do you have a car background culture idea? I live in
I
Southern California my entire life. So I feel like a car is an extension of identity. I know that I'm
Yeah.
really weird about that. Like I have a very specific, like I've always, since I was a kid, I know I want that car. I know that's my next car. I know exactly how I want it to be. Like I know I'm weird in that way, but that's definitely growing up in Southern California. Rhea?
I just got my car this past summer since I was interning in LA. So I also went to my dad. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like so I was gonna do a lease, but leases work everything's so much different here in California compared
Yeah.
to New York, like insurance and everything. But I got
Yeah.
my license here. I had to get it again
Yeah.
Oh,
for
what?
insurance purposes. But
Mm.
I have a bunch of dream car ideas, but maybe I would lease after college.
What's the dream car
And
idea? What do you want?
I don't
This is what I'm
know.
curious about.
How big are we talking? I have like
I don't, you
ideas.
tell
Like,
me.
maybe like when I'm a mom, a Range Rover. I feel like that's like the mom
Okay,
car.
Range Rover
And
mom.
then, or like I've seen a magenta Porsche. I like was near campus
Oh.
and I saw someone in a magenta Porsche. It was the most beautiful car I've
Wait, I
ever
need to
seen.
look at this.
But like maybe when I like retire, that's the car I get, you know?
What type of Porsche? We're talking like a 911?
I don't know if I
Like,
support this.
are we talking about like a 911? Like you're talking like a two-seater, like a little
I don't know
bucket?
the numbers, to be honest. I just see
But
the
it's a
vision. Like,
Porsche.
oh, this is pretty and it's pink. I love it. I also like vintage cars. I don't have any names for you, but I feel like it's very California. Oh, I really wanted a Mini Cooper. When I was looking for cars, I really want because they're so cute and tiny, perfect for parallel parking around here. And I feel like with the nice California license plate, that would look so cute. But my dad was like, no one is gonna fit in that, so get a different car.
They got the four-door Mini Coopers. They're a little bit bigger, but at that point,
That's
it's like,
true.
why are you getting a Mini Cooper? But they're pretty
Yeah.
cool. They got some cool ideas, and they've got some that like have like the windows and the
Yeah.
completely come down, and that's really cool.
I used to
Exactly.
want a Bronco,
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
but
those are
yeah.
nice.
They're expensive now.
yeah, they're really
After they
expensive
redid
now.
them.
Yeah, unfortunately. Because I really wanted a Jeep growing up. I don't know why. Maybe it was
Me
because
too.
of Riya, have you watched Teen Wolf?
Yes, I've seen
Like,
parts of it.
you know how one of the main characters has like this blue Jeep?
hmm
So I really wanted a Jeep growing up, and then I wanted a Jeep for the first time. I was like, this is terrible. Like I was getting a headache. Like I
It's
couldn't do
not.
it.
No, it
It was
sucks.
so bad. And then my dad was like, I told him about that, and he's like, well, your dream car should just be a Bronco then. Like they're so much better. And I was like,
True.
right, okay, but I'm like 14. I'm not buying a Bronco. So I guess that's like the closest thing I have to a dream car.
But also, like Broncos look cool, but mileage wise, like you're just completely like pouring
Yeah,
so
and
much money
especially if
into
I'm
that.
driving 200K miles, I should probably think about that.
Yeah, I think you need a little more efficiency on the
Yeah,
MPG.
maybe like a hybrid car.
Something, yeah, go in that direction. Oh man.
We'll
Well,
see. I'll keep you
cool.
updated on my car situation.
Yeah, now it's a new topic. We got to find
Oh,
out
God.
do you have a name for your car? For this old lady?
Okay, so the problem is I'm the youngest of 3 sisters. So this car, the
This
reason
car's
it
been
has,
through all of them.
yeah, it started with my dad and it's gone through all sisters. So when my sister
Is it like
first,
an old school diesel Mercedes?
no, it's like a 2010 Lexus.
Okay.
Yeah. But my sister was like, Lexus, we're gonna name her Lex. I was like, right. So original, so cool. So now that's the only name we have for her. And then my
Lex.
other sister recently just got a Lexus, and she was like, let's name her Lexi. And I was like, right, okay, guys, we need a little more.
You don't have creative sisters.
Not really. And it's like my other sister's marketing, and like she came from Annenberg. Like I feel like there should be some more creativity there, you know?
Yeah, there should be something.
I don't know what's going on. Somehow I
Do you have a name
became
for your car, Rhea?
I kind of call my car Limca. It's like this soda brand that I got right when I got my car, and I was like, oh, I'll call her that, but I never call my car that. I just refer to her, never with a name.
Internally.
Maybe I need to find a new name.
I'm like imagining your car being like the bright green that Limca is now.
No,
it?
my car's black.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe I should get like a cover that's green.
Oh,
or
don't do that.
something.
Bright green color.
That would be funny.
At least you'll never lose your car.
What's that?
Mhm.
At least she never lose her car.
That's true. If it's bright green. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cool. Well, I think we've talked the car conversation to death. And we can move on. This, I think, wraps up our entire conversation. As a reminder, if you're looking to visit, go to viterbiadmission.usc. I'm sorry, viterbi.link/events. That's VITERBI.link, LINK/events, EVNTS, to find out all the ways you can visit. And we have a big open house coming up, which is on Sunday, October 20th. We'll all be there with lots of cool stuff to show off and lots of ways to learn more about the university, the application process, and the Viterbi School of Engineering. And it's kind of the last opportunity to do a big visit before you are going to apply by our early action deadline. As a reminder, the application deadline for first-year students to apply early action, which means you would like to be considered for merit-based scholarships, is going to be November 1st. The regular decision deadline is going to come out in January, and if you're a transfer student, that transfer deadline is in February. So we got plenty of time before any of those deadlines come into play. You can learn more about all of those opportunities at our website, viterbiadmission.usc.edu/apply. Other than that, you've all been great. Riya, thank you so much for a great episode, and we will see you all next week with another episode of Viterbi Voices. Bye-bye.